Hello and welcome to the CEO table with Bernadette L. Harris, where strategy, sanity, and legacy take the center stage. I'm your host, Bernadette L. Harris, the straight talking strategist, legacy builder, and business truth teller that you didn't know you needed. Pull up a chair and let's have some real conversations about building businesses that work for you. So today's episode, I want to talk about profit and how profit isn't enough. You have to build a business that feeds you and feels you. So let's talk about it. Profit is necessary. Don't get me wrong. Don't say, this accountant lady said that profit isn't enough because profit is necessary. You absolutely have to have a profit. But it's just not enough. There are too many businesses that are stuck in this cycle where all they're doing is making money, but they don't feel fulfilled, they're overwhelmed, and worse, many of these business owners feel trapped. So if you've ever said to yourself, what why does this feel so hard? Even with the money coming in, why does this feel so hard? If you said that, then this episode is for you. So let's break it down. You know me, I don't keep it short and sweet, but I want to break it down in like three quick steps. So the first thing that I always tell business owners when we're having strategy sessions is you have to redefine what success looks like. And success is not something you can't look it up in a dictionary, right? When you really define what success looks like, it's going to look different for you than it does for me. And so we've been conditioned to think that revenue is the measure of success. When I start making six figures, when I hit 500,000, when I hit seven figures, then my business will be successful. But let me just tell you that if your business is growing and your piece is shrinking, there is that really success? And so start defining success on your own terms, not necessarily what we read in books, what we've seen on videos, what we see on social media. What does success look like for you? So what is it that you want? Do you want more time with your family and friends? Do you want freedom to be able to travel? Do you want creative control? Like, what is it that you want? Do you want the ability to say no without feeling guilty? Your business should be the vehicle that gets you there and not necessarily the barrier. And so take a moment to think about what success looks like for you because it's going to look different than what success looks like for me. And then once you've defined what success looks like, then you should align your offers so that they are in alignment with your values and your lifestyle. Sometimes a lot of times, honestly, we often create offers or services that we think people will buy, but they don't always align with the way that we want to live, right? I can remember having a conversation with someone and they were getting ready to start a business or thinking about starting a business. Let's say this. They were thinking about starting a business and they were saying, but I don't want to do X, but everybody is asking me for X. And I thought, well, first of all, you don't know everybody. So everybody's not asking you for X. And the second thing is, if you don't want to do X, don't do it. One of the things that I am really proud of myself for saying is I didn't go into business to do stuff that I didn't want to do. And I didn't go into business to work with people that I didn't like or that I didn't want to like or didn't like me or didn't respect me. And so when you are building your business, you want to make sure that the services or the offerings that you have, they align with the values and the lifestyle that you want or that you already have. If you don't like doing something, don't do it. Stop wasting time doing that, thinking that, oh, this is the pathway to success, because what it's going to do is cause you to resent your business. And so you should be on the path of creating freedom and fulfillment. And I think too many businesses aren't doing that. The third thing is that you want to build systems that free you up. If you have things in your business that you do on a repetitive basis, systematize it. Figure out how do you make this more efficient. We have technology, we have systems that can make our life easier, and they don't always cost a whole lot of money. It's really just about figuring out, how do I make this so I streamline this, so instead of it taking me 30 minutes to do, maybe it will take you 10. And so even when the money is good, you can feel stuck in your business if it depends on you for everything. Remember, we talked about that in a previous video where I said that if you're the bottleneck in your business, you got to fix that. And so sometimes getting out of the way means that you put systems in place, you automate things that you can automate, and you delegate things that either drain you or things that are just not a good use of your time. And then documenting your processes so that you're not reinventing the wheel every time, or you're not figuring it out how to do it every single time. Um, you ever notice that some of the really good restaurants, when you go to these restaurants, and I'm not going to call anybody's name because nobody's paying me to be advertising for them, but if you go to a really good restaurant, and let's say you go to this restaurant multiple times because you have a favorite dish, when you go to the restaurant, you expect that dish to taste the same every single time. And when it doesn't, you just be like, who was in the kitchen today? And it really shouldn't matter who's in the kitchen, because you should have a recipe and you should be following that recipe every single time. And that's the same thing with your business. Whatever your processes are, they should be followed every single time, so that whenever a customer or client experiences your business, they get that same consistency. So you want to make sure that you are building a business that feeds you, that also frees you, and doesn't just show up in your bank account, right? And so it shows up in your schedule, in your sleep, in your smile, right? So here's your journal prompt for today. Where in your business are you settling for profit and not peace? And what's one change that you can make to shift that? Thank you for pulling up a chair to the CEO table. It has been an honor to share space with you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Whether you've joined me for one episode or every single one, I hope you felt seen and supported and inspired to build a business that truly feeds and frees you. I'm Bernadette L. Harris, signing off of the CEO table. This is my last episode, but trust me, it's not goodbye. It's just the beginning to what's next. Take care.